Lovely. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Parish Council meeting. My first one officially in the chair. Bear with me. Go easy. Any apologies?
Yes, I have apologies from Councillors Sharif and Innes.
Any declarations of interest? Item 3, to receive minutes of previous meetings. So we've got 3A, Parish Council meeting on the 14th of April.
So I don't know if anyone wishes to, when you wish to propose.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Atkins, do you have a seconder for it?
Thank you.
Do we want to just do any updates before we look at the other minutes?
Yeah.
Anyone have any queries on the minutes? I think most things should be on the agenda.
Well, the sign is up by the pedestrian gate now for the Bowls Club, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
done. 47A. Have we put the bowling signs up, the containers?
Yes, Robin Jackson's put those up.
Okay.
Is 47C being dealt with? Imagine more on that toilet door lock.
I think so. I was a little unsure as to whether it had already been done last time or not.
Or
I can
mysteriously
check
worse
that.
now.
Yeah, maybe.
I can check that. Yeah.
Dare I ask about 47D?
You can dare.
No news at the moment, but the last thing I knew is that planning are reconsulting Sport England, and Sport England are happy as long after I confirmed that what was their query? Oh, that Dover Rangers weren't being asked to meet all of the costs of running the building, which my community use agreement was a little vague as to. It sounded as though that they might be asked to pay for all of the cost of electricity, water for the use of the building in total. But I said no, they only have to pay for the use that they put.
For the pitches?
No, this is for the building.
Yes, but they're responsible for everything to do with the pitches. No.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anything else on that? Good.
So B then is just the AGM and parish meeting minutes. Everyone's there's a lot to go through on that really. So, but if anyone's got any queries. events minutes will have to, they haven't got them ready for tonight, so I will circulate them, roll them out in due course.
Okay. And then item 4, updates from the minutes not otherwise listed on the agenda.
So
I think we've covered off. There wasn't anything.
it's been,
We've gone through. Okay, to receive reports, item 5A, district and county councillors.
Yeah,
Good evening.
good evening. I'll give you just a brief update. I do have a letter, well, not a letter, a notice that goes round to us all, and just to assure people that the shortage of water since December in different places throughout Kent, we as Kent County Council are in direct control and trying to take action with the water board, and to try and gather evidence of where there's problems, where there's not problems, and we're trying to turn it around and make inquiries. So as we've got key areas where we're working on that has problems, and we're trying to do a preventive action rather than reactive, because at the moment it just seems like the water board is just reacting to all the different bits and pieces everywhere. So I think when KCC are out on the roads, if they spot something, they're going to report it back and try and get them to, gym up a bit to get the waters done. So hopefully, if we keep our fingers crossed, if we can keep on top of that sort of thing, then we might have any problems in any areas. It don't look like there's anything in the Dover area at the moment. We've not been notified of anything, so it's all looking fairly good at the moment. But what I would say is if any residents do see any leaks anywhere that are visible, go straight onto some water or KCC and report them in, and hopefully we can try and nip it in the bud before it gets too big a problem. James has shared something on Facebook the other day. He's been working on a couple of drainage that have been problems for years of blockage, and they've actually dug up the road, and it was a bigger job than they thought. I think it was bottom Coombe Valley, which isn't too far from here. I think they had that closed off and done all that. That's now repaired and done. So when it rains, hopefully it won't flood there. And again, we're trying to keep our eyes open for more drains that are blocked like that, so we can get them unblocked. So hopefully for the winter we won't have similar problems to last year. And there's going to be some road surfacing done in Dover as well. The only one I've been notified at the moment, which I'll be going up to have a look at, is Menzies Road. That's going to be done in September. But there are different potholes. You'll see them all being marked out. We've got the new contractors
Where's
in.
that?
Up at Whitford, they're up by the Rock Rose, the road that goes down there with the lorry parks and everything, with stagecoach and that. They're going to start, they do that, so they're starting about 7 o'clock at night, so I'm going to go up there and have a look and see how they're working the new machines. So they've got these new machines in place, new contractors, and it's a lot more quick and efficient, and it looks like they seem to be a lot more durable than the actual work they're doing. So hopefully keep our fingers crossed they won't be going out patching and then going back a few months later and repatching, because they seem to be doing a good job. So
The only thing that I would like to bring up, perhaps you could look into that, Albert, is it's the roadside, the main roadside of the bridge at Kersney Railway Station.
right,
I'm very, very concerned
okay,
about that huge lump of concrete that it looks as if it's unsupported.
right. I haven't seen that. I'll go back on the way home. I'll have a look at it.
Well, it'll be dark then, won't it?
Yeah, no, I should be able to see something. I'll have a good look at it, and if I can, I'll try and get out there, possibly at the weekend, and I'll take some photographs and send it off.
You see, what's happened is that some contractors have actually skimmed the bank back towards the entrance to Kersney Railway Station,
Right.
the vehicular entrance.
Yeah,
But that whole thing looks dodgy to me.
yeah. Well, I drove past there a few weeks ago, so it's recently, so I didn't really notice it, but then I wasn't looking for it, so,
Well,
It looks quite bare,
If
that
you
light,
come
doesn't
down,
it?
Yeah,
it's,
it
you can
does.
see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll drive back that way and go up it and have a look.
I'm really surprised
Yeah.
that British Rail, or whatever they're called
Yeah.
nowadays, haven't said something about that,
Yeah.
because that would paralyse the line
Yeah.
between here and Faversham.
Yeah. Well, I'll have a look to see whether it's Kent County Council, Dover Association, or whether it's the railways. I'll find out which one's involved. I'll try and contact someone and see if they can come and have a look at it. I'll have a look. As I said, I won't be able to do it till the weekends. I'm working in the daytime.
I wouldn't be at all surprised,
Yeah.
because if somebody hasn't raised that
Yeah.
already,
Right. Well, I'll
because
take some
it
photographs. And
dodgy.
Yeah, I'll take some photographs. I'll make a note of my calendar, and I'll get that done Saturday morning, hopefully. You know, and then make sure it's all done and sent off. Okay then. That's it.
Thank you.
That's right.
Lovely, thank you. Uh, 5B, parish councillors.
Fine.
On the subject of working, Albert mentioned in drains, I've got in mind again on London Road where there are drains blocked, and I reported that it's in the lay-by there. And anyway, the duty one day, this guy turned up and he was clearing it, and then I said, well, what about the other three that are further along? Oh, he says, we'll leave one on the list.
And they're all connected together though.
Oh,
I'm assuming.
yeah. There's only one on the list, so that's another work order.
Yeah, it beggars belief sometimes, you know. It's like wading through mud sometimes, just trying to get. It's common sense. If you're there, check if there's 2 or 3 not by so just check them and do them. But you know,
Well, I think that's the trouble with subcontracting. The
Yeah.
guy gets a job to do one particular thing
yeah.
rather than.
I think that sometimes it's complacency. Previous contractors for roads, as we know, the last year or so hasn't been great. We've now got new contractors in, and we're seeing a huge improvement in, quickness of doing it, the machinery they're using, and everything. So we're trying to change things as we can. And as I reported last time, we've got our debt down to, I think it's 590 million now from 730. So it's come down, and along with that, it's the cost saving things we're doing, and also the improving of the services. Putting them out of tender, getting people coming in, fresh eyes, fresh way of doing things. It does help with our climate control that we got rid of as well. Because first thing we did, we got rid of that because what was happening was basically you give a contract out and you can only give it to 4 or 5 people because they've got the credentials to do it. When you get rid of the Climate Emergency Act, what you actually do is you then open up to the little man. So someone who's got a small business, he's got 30 people, you can give it to him now, whereas before he's giving it to the big boys, they've got the credentials to do it, then they give it to another person, then they give it to another one, so you get 3 people in the chain. Obviously the price goes up because it's going to them. Now if you're giving it to the smaller people, you're getting a more reasonable price, you're getting sometimes a lot better work, because if they're doing it for themselves, they take a lot more pride in it rather than contracting it out. So I think it will change eventually. We are trying to modernise things and move it along as we can. So bear with us, we'll try and keep going.
So in short, Chris, report every drain.
Yeah.
Just go along and report them one by one.
It sounds stupid, but at the end of the day.
But I guess they won't respond until, because they'll need KCC to approve. They can't just come out and use their initiative and say,
put it on the
check them all.
KCC website that we've got the contacts on our websites. Put it on there and just report if you're doing one there, just report all of them in there. If there's 3 in this road, whatever. But they'll make sure they're done. Take photographs.
I do admit that sometimes it'd be difficult to do when you've got cars parked along the lake.
Yeah.
Sometimes you might come to do something there and they can't do it because the cars are there.
Yeah. What's annoying is what I saw on London Road by Cherry Tree. They've done the drains there, superb job, and then about I don't know, 3 days later, I saw someone cutting their hedge, and they're cutting all the hedge in there, they get over it, they put it all down the drain, and you think, we just unblocked that, and now it's being blocked with, you know, but it is what it is. So, but yeah, just keep reporting, and we'll try and keep on top of it.
Thank you.
I'm okay, thank you.
Nice.
No, I think it's good.
Nothing from me over there. Do we have a policing report?
Actually, I've got some, I've got a direct report, and I've got a couple of items.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it like the rubbish that's appearing in all the things that are being damaged in the abbey? That's quite a big thing at the moment. There was someone who'd taken a bit of fencing down to make a fire and left items in the abbey and stuff like that.
I haven't got anything on that, but
Was that reported to the council?
I think so. I saw it on Facebook. I didn't know whether it was something that we.
Well, that's because costing it a bit of
Yeah, it's out of our remit.
It's a bit of a little island in the middle.
Yeah.
so there's a couple of things. Neighbourhood task force officers on patrol in river at the end of May, following reports of nuisance vehicles. They observed a quad bike riding on Lewisham Road with a pleading passenger, despite him trying to avoid police located on the Meadway. The quad bike was seized by police and the driver spoken to and dealt with. 3 suspects have been arrested recently in Dover for theft of motorcycles. I know that one was stolen in River recently, but recovered. But the police seem to be targeting this locally within the town. There is a consultation open at the moment about the government seeking to merge police forces. I don't think there's any specific proposal at the moment, but for example, Kent merging with Essex and merging with whatever Sussex. And there is a consultation on whether people think that's a good thing or a bad thing. Latest newsletter from the Police and Crime Commissioner is available. Can circulate that if anyone's interested. And the next surgery is called Coffee with a Cop. Which is at the next Costa Coffee next at the end of August, 10:30 Thursday, 27th of August.
So lovely and local for the river.
You can go.
Like clothes and tavern. What fun is that again?
Thursday, 27th of August in the morning, 10:30. And how long you can be there for, we'll say.
Lovely. Item 6. Do we have any questions from the public?
I haven't got any email ones, obviously no one here, so
No,
I'm seeing
okay.
that.
Okay. Item 7 for planning.
So first planning application is actually one that's it's actually expired, but it's still awaiting decision, so we can make a comment on that. It's 35 Cravel Lane. House there. So basically, erection of a single-storey rear extension and creation of a dormer to front roof slope. So top left is the as it is now, and then on the right is what they intend.
Has there been any objections from the neighbours at all?
I'm just trying to. Actually, I forgot to look that up, so I'm just having a look for that now.
It's quite unattractive on the front, isn't it?
Well,
But absolutely, Purple Lane have had the same.
this, while we're looking it up, this is one that sort of fits into the category, I always think, of it might be cheaper to move. Because in Deanwood Road in particular,
What state was it in?
so in Deanwood Road, there have been umpteen bungalows that have been raised, taken the roof off and turned into a house. But none of them, to my knowledge, have been done. So, you know, it's probably this one here
It was
looks
the 31st of May?
almost
Or
the
was that-
same.
So the cost of it doing that is pretty high and prohibitive, I suppose.
Sure.
So it's a case of working out as to what's the thing in our life versus what is, you know. The trouble is having alternative places to move to. The market hasn't got them. No.
Yeah, that's
Very far.
clearly has something to do.
So only 0 comments, looks like. Okay. No comments.
From neighbours or anybody else.
Anybody?
Well,
Well, no comment.
no comment.
This next one, I'd like to know a little bit more about this. It looks to me as if they're taking up the floor in the billiard room
Yes.
Yeah. Floor covering.
alongside the cafe, but nothing to do with the cafe.
Well, it's because it's used for weddings, that part now,
Yeah,
isn't it? Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
It's a
well,
reception room.
the idea was, we were told that a long time ago, that when the cafe was being constructed, that the billiard room, the old cafe, was going to be available for receptions, weddings, that sort of thing. But it seems rather strange to me that now, at this stage, they're looking to,
Well, it is used for weddings.
yeah, but it seems rather strange to me that they're replacing the floor.
Because, have you seen the pictures?
Hmm?
Have you seen the pictures that are added to it, of the floor?
No,
They are attached to it
Probably
somewhere.
hasn't been replaced for
There's
many
loads
years.
of like samples of how the floor looks. Where was it? You got it. Where is it?
I don't doubt that it's necessary.
It's look,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't doubt that it's necessary, but what I'm getting at is that all the time that's elapsed since the new cafe has
Yeah.
been opened, which is quite a few years.
You could have done it at the
That's-
same time.
Well, I guess they only doing wedding receptions since last year, when they got the license to do weddings there. And maybe that's when it got noticed more, or maybe it got used with all the high heels then. But there is a lot of pictures there that's saying it comes apart. I mean, I'm not keen in taking
mean,
up a old
it's-
floor.
It's not as if it's going to cost us or
No.
anybody else some money.
Ah,
But It seems rather strange to me.
I
But
guess
it's
they made a
come
bit
up
money
now.
first. May.
What are the alterations? Because it says replacement new floor
It's,
include alterations to existing suspended floor.
they're putting it a little bit higher, I think, to allow airflow. It's in the bottom of page 19, existing, and then you can see,
Yeah, that's looking a bit
Something-
rotten in that photograph there. isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I don't doubt that
you're
that's
just a bit puzzled by the whole
necessary.
timing of it.
Yeah, the
Maybe
time
they
frame.
just needed a bit cash in the bank first and waited. I don't know. I'll think.
It's nice to see the playground is being altered.
But people are sad about the sand pit going.
Yeah.
Because that's, since when do children not play in the sand pit anymore? Apparently,
I like
it's
that little digger.
it's all health and safety now. With the distance to the water, I was a bit thrown. The 20 metres is your proposal within 20 metres of a water course, river stream, and I said no.
20 metres.
And I thought, it is. It's just over the road on the other side, the water stream.
Both sides, isn't it?
And there's a pond.
Is that more than 20 metres?
No, but the tower is rather high on the other side of the road, isn't it? I mean, that might be more than 20 metres, but I'm just a bit puzzled by that. Generally. It is higher, so I don't think it's flood risk.
No, I think it'd be
Because it's
some, I mean,
The
if
pond is down there, and then
the bank coming up, you'd have a hell of a flood if it would get across the road and then flood down the other side.
So have we got any comments to make then on this one?
Well, it certainly looks in a bit of a bad way.
Yeah, it feels like it's necessary, doesn't it? The timing feels like it's strange, but maybe they've been saving the pennies for some time.
So who would be funding this again?
DDC,
District Council.
unless they put
maybe they thought to wait to see if it was successful first, what season from when it's
Yeah, actual
see.
bookings, revenue coming in.
This is getting booked,
Yeah.
let's do this before.
I mean, it could be that English Heritage Lottery Fund that paid for it. They possibly wouldn't pay for the replacement of the floor because technically there wasn't anything wrong with it. It just wanted improving for commercial use, whereas that's not what the grant's for.
Well, it is a bit daft to do it when it's actually up and running and not doing it in the first place. Now they're having
Well, they could be doing over the
they're
summer
having
then.
people, they're losing out on
Bookings.
bookings. They should have done this before they open.
Yeah.
I agree there, but that's their problem.
Yeah.
So there's
Yeah.
a public comment from the Dover Society. We acknowledge that the flooring of this Grade 2 listed building is in poor condition. We don't think the floor will be strengthened and the parquet flooring will be replaced on a like-for-like basis. This will prolong the life and ensure the ongoing viability of the building, so we are pleased to give our support. Don't think there's anything else. No, nobody else. No other comments. Make any comment? No comment?
Is that a no comment or we support it? Shall
Well, it's always good to make things nice.
I think we can make a comment saying
Alright.
support. It's an improvement to
Yeah,
Two listed
I mean, I don't
structure.
think anybody in their right mind would object to it.
no to a replacement
Puzzled,
of
that thing.
and it's preserving heritage, isn't it? And yeah.
Some of them don't
Leave a
put
comment
any
and
funny
support.
floor in.
So item B on that is Gorse Hills.
Yes.
Interesting one.
I have had several communications about this. I've had 3 people get in touch with me complaining. It's basically, it's this triangle at the top of Travel Lane. If you go right up to the top, where you come and loop back down to come down Abbey Road, it's that triangle there right at
Where
the
it
top.
joins the road from coming up from St.
Yeah.
Regis.
This area was sold a few years ago, and there was some clearance work done then, but I think we did actually get in touch with the planning enforcement, and they looked into it, and there was nothing at the time that was anything untoward. They said it's not a conservation area. There aren't any TPOs on any of the trees. Nothing was happening there. Was anything wrong? But obviously this time around, they've changed their mind. Council considers there's been a breach of planning control set out in blah, blah, blah. This temporary stop notice is issued by the council because it considers it expedient that the activity specified in this notice should cease on the land. By virtue of its sensitive location within the countryside and national landscape, this engineering operation results in an unacceptable and incongruous form of development that results in harm to the distinctive landscape character and the distinctive beauty of the countryside and national landscape.
This is the letter from planning.
That's from planning, that's the
Yeah.
stop notice. I mean, that's what it looks like. That's right up at the top. So
is this the person that has been posted in the local group I said to you about, saying that she's clearing it for horses?
yes, apparently
This is the
I
same
think
piece of
it's the
land.
same piece of land.
Right.
So yeah, there is a footpath that goes across. There's the sign there.
It's quite drastic, isn't
It
it?
is what it's and it's gone. But then I would imagine if the lady wants to keep horses, she wants to grass it,
Yeah.
and then fence it, and then
And this was wooded.
this was wooded. Yeah.
It's nicer than the fly tipping that was normally on that. What?
Around there, yeah. And that lane all
A few
together.
little bits here.
Like-
Yeah, it's a bit of a nice one, wasn't it? Yeah, there's still something there.
Yeah.
Old are these trees usually?
It was just untidy
Yeah.
before.
I don't know what the trees were, but I don't think there was nothing ancient.
Older.
No, this sits outside the ancient section, doesn't it? Which is
Yeah.
further back towards the ridgeway and the.
Does it say anything on your communication that's from planning about where the excavated material is being taken?
No.
Interesting.
Because I think you'll find up that track that goes off at Polton Close, at the top of Polton Close, they're tipping some of the stuff up there.
Interesting.
So tell me again, where's this? On the Cascoff Abbey
Mm.
Road or?
That's what it did look like.
Oh, I've got the same thing, okay.
That's what it
Yeah.
was.
This bit here.
But
the
then,
big-
yeah.
Well, there is some bits
spread
here
over wooded.
anyway.
Yeah.
This bit here.
No, look,
Abbey Road.
it's not this bit then clear, then this bit there.
It's that bit there that they've cleared. The photo was taken from about there.
Mm.
There's certainly some big excavator machines up there.
That was one of the complaints of one of the people was the amount of lorries going up and down there
Yeah,
clearing things. And when I said I went and had a look at this afternoon. When I first went up there a couple of weeks ago, there was a lot of evidence. There was a lot of material on the
right.
road. Oh, and another query a lady brought up: if you've been up there, the whole top part of Travel Lane has been resurfaced.
Oh,
And she said that she had been in touch with Kent Highways several years ago regarding that part of the road, and they had at the time said it won't be resurfaced. There's not enough traffic. They're basically going to let it become a bridleway, and that's what I was told. And so she wonders why it's suddenly being resurface.
Well, it was quite bad, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was bad.
And perhaps a lot of people complained and they did something about it.
When I will ask
And
him,
I'm
I
very
was-
careful driving the occasions I did either drive up or drive down there.
Is she concerned that it's going to become an official development?
Well, possibly. I mean,
Yeah.
I think at the time when this was bought, it was considered, well, would it be used for housing or something else? I mean, on the other side of it is the Holton Close industrial estate. I don't know whether that could be considered. It is actually outside of river. To point that out, it's not actually in river. Crabble Lane, I think, is the boundary, so it's actually in Dover Town. So then, no one's there's no obligation for them to tell us anything about it, inform us of any planning application or whatever.
But they often do.
They quite often do.
When there's a development going back down that lane, is it called Shakespeare Cottage or something like that? There was an enormous development that didn't succeed. Planning didn't succeed. But we were notified.
So there's not a great deal at the moment. I mean, I was copied into the stop notice via Mark Rhodes, which is interesting.
Oh yes.
The lady copied us and Councillor Rhodes into her email to planning, but planning didn't copy us into the reply. So
Is he still a councillor?
yeah,
For
By
river.
the way, like the elections, right, he probably missed the last one and he'll be the
Yeah.
next one. won't he?
so at the moment it's just kind of a watch this space.
Hmm.
The stop notice only applies for 3 months or something. I'm sure it's not permanent, it's only so they can investigate what's going on. Okay, shall we move on to item C, which are the decisions.
Yeah.
All the decisions are listed there. I won't go through them all. Just to say there is an extra one that came in this week, which is 63 Valley Road. There was permission being asked for the siting of a caravan for ancillary accommodation, and the certificate was granted. So that goes on to the bottom of that list.
Mm.
Number 6.
Financial matters?
Totally.
Financial matters?
Financial matters,
Yeah.
yes. I shall move on to that.
Yeah.
Here we go. So first item is the annual audit report. You've got a copy of that in your papers. Basically, we have we've been doing it for many years now. He's a retired accountant, Tony Kilby, who goes through my figures and invoices, makes sure everything balances, and signs them off. So he was quite happy to do that. So, and then item B, the annual governance statement, which is basically how we manage our finances. Now, I did include a sheet by email of justification for all of my statements, which is the white sheet. You've got a white sheet somewhere. So I don't know if you want to have a little look through that and just if you have any queries. It's quite a lengthy thing for me to read out.
to know.
The famed assertion 10, keeping clerks awake throughout the country, which is the GDPR one. There's still a little bit of a work to go. I'm quite certain I'm not the only person to have taken note of this. So there are a few things that need still to be completed. So those being, there are some website accessibility changes which need to be completed. All local authorities' sites must comply with accessibility standards, WCAG 2.2. So needing to be done, accessibility statement which needs to be completed and then approved. Hopefully I can bring that to next month. There are some structural changes to some of the pages still needing to be done to help with assistive technology, screen readers, that kind of thing. I'm probably halfway through doing that. And then the other thing is that all of the PDFs that are published need to be configured so that they are accessible. Again, that's so they can, so the technology that's available for people who can't read properly, can have them, say, screen readers and that kind of thing. It's basically a formatting for documents. So that's the changes to the websites. I also need to get you to approve a new information technology policy, which is kind of more like a BYOD, of bring your own device, seeing as the Parish Council doesn't have any devices that it provides for members. Everybody uses their own phones, computers, etc. So it's effectively that's what it is. So I'm partway through that. The problem is always finding a balance between strict adherence to GDPR and something that's actually workable for individuals. I'll bring that hopefully again to the next meeting for approval. I'm still going through the data mapping, which is what information we keep, why we keep it, justification for keeping that information, and also time limits on a lot of things as to where we, how long we keep it, so that if information is no longer needed, then it should be deleted. And there may be, I've really done a lot of work on this, there may be some updates needed to our existing privacy policy and also our publication scheme. Obviously privacy policy is how we use people's data, what we do with it. That's a few years old now, so that may need updating. And the publication scheme is what information we hold and how people can get it from us, what's published online, what's available to download, what people can apply to the clerk for, etc., etc. So budget policies, etc. So those things still need to be completed. So I will need to put this in a accompanying letter to when I submit the annual return, explaining why, explaining the time scale for when everything needs to be completed, but it should be done before the end of the calendar year.
Andrew, just on the GDPR and the accessibility, do you think there's going to be costs to the council to make these improvements, or is it more your implementation of formatting and stuff in the background which is low or no cost?
Yeah, it's more that.
Okay.
There will be a small cost. We use a WordPress thing for the site. And the thing that we've got is not very good at being accessible, so I will be swapping over to a premium scheme, which has more accessibility, more built into it. I think it's a one-off payment. I don't think there's very much money involved in that. Okay, so does anyone have any other queries about the annual governance statement before I
Right, yeah.
I would recommend writing your name rather than signing it because it has to be published online, and I tried redacting it last year, but I'm not supposed to redact it. I just write my name rather than sign it. Unless you want your signature out on the net. Thank you. So that's the government statement. So moving on. On the back of the government, on the annual government statement, you should find the financial statement, accounting statements for 2025-26. Should be a lot easier. Figures are basically the same as those that are provided at the meeting in April. So that spreadsheet contains exactly the same figures, starting balance, finishing balance, and breakdown. So it's this is the format that they like. The precept and then other receipts, which in that case obviously is the money coming in from the cafe lease and the office lease, and then some other income as well. They like staff costs brought out, so that's any staff cost, anything connected with staff costs, expenses, training, etc. And then all other payments. Again, Tony looked at all of these things and all of that balance, and he was quite happy that it all went through. Slight increase in our total fixed assets, not by very much. Don't know, I've got a copy of the bulk of the costs are things like the buildings in the recreation ground. I think the one that may need updating for next year is the Bowls Pavilion. I'm not sure whether we've had that valued for some while. We had a valuation last year of the cafe, so that's up to date. And obviously any changes that might happen in the near future, definitely in-house, that would need a change in the valuation.
Would that be done to the Parish Council together then, or the board?
Again, it's our pavilion, so it's our property. Yeah.
Do the tennis courts come into that?
Again, as part of the rec, but only as part of it. It's not designated separately. Unless there's some kind of change in the status of what we do there that changes its use.
So that's still up in the air. Sure.
So if you're happy with that, I'll get Chair to sign that. 17th next to the bottom there. Thank you very much. Okay, so we're down to the financial report for the last 2 months. As ever, I have emailed you all a full digital copy of this, which includes bank statements, so you can verify the bank balances. So it's a 2-month statement. So down at the bottom, well, you do the bank reconciliation to opening balances. Precepts, office lease, cafe utilities, some income now coming in for the fate, payment for the fate from 2025, which was highly spotted. Because it was the end of the financial year. I have to get change for the fate for my own business account, because you can't get it otherwise. So all the money went through that way at the end of my own financial year, so and it is still outstanding. So there we are, an extra £807.70. And there's an extra £1 come in, which is the wayleave for the small electricity substation sitting in the corner of the recreation ground.
Oh, yes.
For which we get £1 a year. And
Wow.
before you ask me, shouldn't it go up? I've been in contact in the past, and no, apparently a wayleave remains the same throughout the life of its whatever.
So we can't have some zeros off the end of that one, and it's,
No,
it's £1.
It's been £1 apparently since somewhere in the 1960s.
Okay.
And it's still £1.
Wow.
Probably costs more to it.
Can we
To
switch it off just to see what they do?
More than one minister rather than.
Yeah.
when it first came out, it was more of a postage stamp,
I think
isn't
it's,
it?
we've had about £50 from it over the years, then.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's been
big boy, yeah.
Wow.
My garden shoes on it.
Perhaps even more.
And then on the other side, then expenditure for the month. Usual for both months is handyman, cleaning, electrical supply. April is the annual subscription to Office 365. I note that the new EU Office suite has been released, which is going to be used throughout Europe. So I don't know. I could swap over to that for next year. Save you £100. Our donation to Kent Air Ambulance. There was a small bill for our domain guard, protection of the domain, 1 month's additional office email costs. Annual subscription for Calc. Groundworks, handyman, refuse collection. And then in May, same things. The external audit for last year, for the year ended March 25, they sent me an invoice apparently in January, but it got missed, so they sent me a reminder, so it was paid in May. We had the CCTV fixed, that's all working now, and our water bill last quarter or so, and the refuse, so that's all the costs for the last 2 months.
Andrew, the refuse collection is monthly.
Yeah.
Obviously it varies by month, I'm assuming by weight or what they're taking.
Yeah.
Is that refuse for the cafe, everybody, bowls club, cafe? Are we paying for everyone's waste to be collected?
It's one.
And the office as well?
It's one. As far as I know, it's just one pickup.
In that giant wheelie bin
Yeah.
in the car park?
So it's. I mean, it wouldn't. If we said you've got to have separate bins, then I don't think it would make any difference to our costs. And of course, there's the issue of where the. Actually, I think the cafe has its own bins. I think it might have. Because we have there in that sort of small courtyard to the left. I think they keep their bins in there.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of two things: the compliance with the recycling requirements
Yeah.
for each individual business, but also if it's £150 a month. I've never really spotted it before, but times that by 12, it's a few thousand pounds a year that potentially if we're paying for the businesses to dispose of their waste.
In the bins, we're changing the bins.
Yeah, I'm still trying to sort out exactly what we need.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have
Because
to.
obviously the office needs different bins.
Because the bins in the park will need to be emptied into the bigger bins, but we've only got one at the moment, haven't we? If it's going into one big bin.
It's a little bit confusing because looking around
It's the
other
recycling.
parks, they don't seem to have them full of all recycled bins. There seems to be a couple of bins
I
which
guess-
separate
Yeah.
the
I
bins.
guess as long as you provide a few, that there's an offer to recycle, you
Yeah.
can't make people.
But then that has to go into one of the bigger bins that has to be recycled, isn't it? It can't just go into a big.
There will have to be extra. Yeah.
I say because obviously the office will have completely different bin because they've got much more
Paper.
office,
management.
well, paperless they are,
Yeah.
generally. The office,
Mhm.
cafe got a lot, has got different,
Type of recycled food and plastics.
they've got food recycling possibly,
Mhm.
if they do it, or they always throw it in the same bin. Maybe something to explore.
Yeah. Well, we've got to make sure that everyone's playing by the rules. I mean, although I suppose if they're not playing by the rules, it's not
Float
not
them
our
around
problem.
and just ask generally what they're doing at the moment.
No, I just don't know if the cafe or whoever it is, not singling out the cafe, are putting their waste into that bin, if that's open for anyone to access, will the council pay for commercial waste?
Yeah.
We should only be paying for the waste that's coming from the bins within the recreational ground, not the bins from the office, cafe, bowls club. Maybe something we need to look into, because if that will add up.
Yeah.
Listen, when,
I agree.
yeah. Have you finished up on that refuge?
Yeah.
All I was going to ask is, I know that we had difficulty in finding a suitable bank to go to, not just this parish council, but other parish councils and other small organisations finding banks that all deal with sort of a gardening club or whatever. Do you find the service charge reasonable? Do you think is the service from them as good as you thought, or better hopefully than?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I think as far as I know, there's now only one bank that does free banking for things like Clapham Parish Council. Everybody else is now charging.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I don't think I think the service seems okay. The only downside is that you haven't got access to a branch anywhere to do things. The other all.
Well, I think it's most of them.
It's all just
It's only
nationwide.
nationwide.
Yeah, and it doesn't do business.
Although there is now a banking hub in Dover, so
Yes.
there is
Which
Yeah.
is moving.
parish centre.
Which is
Where are they all
moving.
into?
It's
Yeah,
the
you
Market
get-
Square. It's suspected into the Old NatWest or one of the neighbouring properties.
Yeah. And you get the Barclays Bank van turning up in St James's.
Yeah,
about
they do,
once a
don't
week.
they? Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
You have to wait outside in the rain because only like one person in at a time.
Is it like porter cabin type?
It's just an open back trailer and it's just really,
Oh.
yeah.
Is it like it's a big bigger
Like a burger van.
Yeah. Like a burger van.
Yeah.
You still pay cash in there or something?
I don't. Well,
The
I
hub
don't
you
back
can.
about.
The
So,
hub,
no,
the hub
You
you
can,
can pay
you
cash
have,
in.
you can, and
Yeah.
you can take what,
I don't think you can in the van, but the hub you can pay cash in and out to a certain limit.
Not
Cheap
secure.
for a trip to
I mentioned that to
Canterbury.
quite a few people at home.
I mean, the reason
Yeah.
for Unity was that I think there was one other bank actually. They were the only ones who do this system whereby you can have two signatories, plus you can have two people authorising payments, plus me as a person who can set up payments but cannot authorise them. So you have three people involved, which is the way that CALC now recommend that the clerk shouldn't be a signatory on the cheques because that's means just a clerk and one other person who needs to spend money.
You can set them up with can't sign.
Yeah.
Well, security.
Yeah. I think Metro Bank is one that offers that same service, but I did go in there and I don't know, it wasn't quite working in the same way.
No, in Canterbury, not in
And I think there were problems with the other ones. All of the other ones were only, at the time, were only dual authorisation, but I would have to be a signatory. And the other problem with NatWest certainly is I've heard this from other parish councils, that if you have NatWest accounts, and I do,
That's where mistakes happen.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm happy enough with them, except for this the problem of getting cash out.
Have you checked out the credit card? If they have a card?
They have a card. It's not a debit card as such. It's some kind of corporate card.
Because
I
with that, maybe that would make your life a bit easier if you had one.
Yeah. Hopefully I
Buy
can.
things and
Hopefully I can bring that to us in my next meeting. It's some kind of. I think it could be used by anyone, so anyone within the council could use it if they needed to. So if you
Not Christiane from the village, just keeps spending on it. Yeah. On TV.
I never buy anything. So it's just more for you than buying for simple. Baubles.
right, so so financial report, are we all happy with that?
Sure.
I have given the go ahead for renewal of the insurance policy. It has to be done before 1st of June, but it's actually gone down this year.
Wow.
It's actually £118 cheaper than it was last year.
Wow.
They have asked us, we work through a broker, which is Gallagher's. They only work through Hiscox Insurance Company. They used to have a couple of companies that they got quotes from, but they, in their opinion, Hiscox provide the best service for parish councils, so a dedicated parish council insurance policy with all of the items and all of the coverage. So they only work through them. So they've said that's what they do. They have asked us if we want to renew our 3-year long-term agreement, by which we would agree to be with it for starting from this year, 3 years. And for that, they don't guarantee no increases, but they say that any increases will be kept to a minimum. I said I'll take that into this meeting and see what the feeling would be. Well, I mean, I suppose the only thing will be is if we're intending on going to other brokers and looking at other companies next year, if we want to do that. I mean, it's a risk thing, isn't it? We risk that when the renewal comes via Gallagher next year, they might say, well, it's 7,000, it's 8,000. Whereas other companies might be cheaper, but we don't. We take that risk,
So we have to time them for 3 years, but they can't guarantee us anything.
They can't guarantee, but they just say it will not increase. There will not be significant increases in them. But I don't know if I don't think they give us any sort of figures for that.
Could it decrease again?
But I mean, it's.
Decrease
yeah,
last
but-
year.
I mean, certainly we could, we can say no, and we can see what they come up with next year, and we could also.
Have we done this before? Have we locked in for 3 years with them?
We've done it for the past two cycles. We've done it
With that company.
with that company, with Hiscox. Yeah.
And has that worked out well?
Because with the Flint cottage, we might have to have a different cover.
Yeah, the cover will probably have to change.
Increase,
So
won't
I'm
it?
thinking they're not flexible enough just for this year. I'm not sure. It's just trying to with the project being ahead, or maybe next year we need to have a different cover.
And the tennis courts.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's so many changes at the moment, and I'm not quite sure about it.
So I can say to them we won't, I mean,
What is
there's no
that?
guarantee that it would increase, honestly. I mean, so
No.
just because we're not in the agreement, it might still be that they're
We should be unduly penalised for not agreeing, but what to
So
do?
Well, if it was within the range of inflation, whatever the figure is, I mean, wouldn't be too bad. You can't argue against. It's when it goes above inflation.
But as you say, you're quite right that we might well be looking at different cover next year because of things that are going on in the buildings.
That make it more complex than
Yeah.
insurance.
And you have to do an insurance. People are in the building and using it, but other people, other people than us using it.
We have Chairman's got 3 quotes for us for a 6-yard skip. So it's 3 prices: the 225 plus VAT, 245 plus VAT, or the 364. Is that on the screen? No, that's the middle one. That's which is 360. That's quite a bit more money. So, any reason to go with the
No.
cheaper one?
This is to clear out Flint House for
Oh,
any,
Flint
any
House, yeah.
for Flint House to clear through rubbish that's in there. When we clear through the tables, the trestle tables that we want to keep in the new storage container, and anything that's left over in there. There is a fair amount, but 6 yard feels like it would be adequate. I think anything more than that would be extreme.
Inviting people to shrub
Yeah,
shuffle.
because we don't have huge bulky items, but we do. It's more than just a few black sacks worth of rubbish in there, really, isn't it?
When they take it away, do they pay for any processing that might have to be, waste disposal, the tip or whatever?
It's all inclusive prices.
Oh,
So it's all part of it,
So
yeah.
I won't say all inclusive, you just
Yeah.
said VAT.
Yeah. And we had to, and on when you answer the questions to get the quotes, you declare you're not disposing of rubble, asbestos and things like that. Literally it's furniture and probably paper and general household clearance that comes within their normal pricing category. I think the cheapest quote, from my memory, is actually East Kent Recycling, which is fairly local anyway. This one here is the middle one, which is country style. There is a smaller option, and I think we would limit ourselves. The saving was minimal between the small one and the next one up, to give us that wiggle room for the waste. Makes sense to go for the larger size, and it's a 2-week. You can have it up to 2 weeks as standard. They can come and collect it sooner if you tell them deliver it on the Monday, and they want it gone by Wednesday. They would book that in, but you can have it up to 2 weeks for the same price.
Happy to go for the cheapest one?
The cheapest option.
Yeah.
Sure. And is that the date you're proposing?
No, she's clicking away, looking at dates, and it doesn't really do anything to the price other than how long you want the skip for, but the dates didn't make any difference.
Okay. Play area maintenance.
Can you put dates in the chat then?
Yeah, for clearance.
Yeah? I don't know which one people wear.
We standing up too long, and then got to fill up.
Yeah, I think it needs to be a morning clear it, request for it to go quickly, following day almost. We can commit. So, area maintenance.
We had our inspection, which was I think was on the May accounts. So safe plating inspection. They found 2 things particularly. The fence, which is the one, and it's the area that's it's saying it's orderly. So this area which is opposite the bowls club, and actually the bit at the top opposite the adult football pitch is the worst. I mean that it really is moving around, but this one really is not too bad. And the other thing that they've picked up on is the tear on the carpet that covers the aerial runway.
That's going to happen.
Can I just do
Yeah,
that?
because where it is on its
So used.
yeah.
I just Google on that.
I know, it's my
But wait until you see the quote.
Does that adhere to health and safety though?
Think about plastic.
to re-secure the 17 items which is in posts 4,800.
It was gold plated.
Got plated concrete.
Yeah.
What about our man?
Well, I think the last time this was done, it was done by John.
Yeah.
He did it for a heck of a lot less, so I can get a price from him. I think price from anybody.
I think anybody's going to be cheaper than that, surely, about opposed to
Carpet all around.
pre-mix into each one
You can move the
to
carpet
secure
all
it. We could probably do it ourselves.
I've seen that really.
And then, what's the other things? The other things then are the multiplay, the toddler, reinstate areas,
Timber.
C, well, that's not very much.
Oh, sheep, yeah.
And then the roundabout, replace one item, £115, and then the other item, then this
That little tear.
carpet, the same £595.
£595 to replace that piece of carpet.
Can we get like carpet right or whatever it is?
That's why Christian wants to go out with a glue gun.
Yeah.
So the fence and the carpet is for £5,500.
I think we look for both, for
Yes.
alternative quotes.
I think we're keen to discuss the quotations at every meeting, so to
Yeah.
make sure we're clear on what.
Like,
It's
the,
not something
I'm
we're
just
doing.
thinking of the fence, 4,800 is with accessories of that, so that you go along with a bucket of quick,
Yeah.
dig around, quick
Yeah.
cement.
And a watering can of water on it.
Exactly,
leave
that's
it, done.
Yeah.
Do we have to do like put it up to tender, but it's or is it not like
No, because the value of the works are too low, aren't they, for it to
Right.
be a.
Yeah.
it's only this big
Yeah.
So he's got this as a maintenance contract that he was the contract regularly. But if the quote is too high from them, we
I mean, the risk is only medium, and actually the roundabout, they've got a low risk as well. To be quite honest, all play areas have items that
What's
need
the badger?
doing to it.
There's a badger missing on the roundabout.
Oh,
It
it
says
says
badge.
doesn't it? Badge. It says badge, yeah.
Badge, yeah.
Definitely a
There's
badge.
badger
So, okay, so
I think we wouldn't. We shouldn't proceed with safe play for these.
I mean, both of those, even the two small, I mean, I don't know whether they want to come down just to do those two. They probably increase the cost, so, I mean, they could easily carry over to the next inspection for a couple of others.
I think we
Minor
just get
items.
quote from the,
Yes.
for the whole thing from,
And get some other alternative
Yeah.
quotes and see if they.
Have we used anybody else other than Safe Play in recent years since it's been
Yes.
installed?
yeah. Come on.
I can't think of any other companies, but I think we must have used other. We've been using SafePlay now for a number of years. It's pretty much the
Was it
only
the
one.
ones that installed it? No.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether the two companies that installed it would do repairs as well. And where they, I mean, it's travel and that sort of thing, isn't it? As to where they've got to travel from, whether they. I can ask both companies whether they, well, it was one company that did the sort of toddler end, and then the
Yeah.
other company did
A
the
bit more.
junior end.
Yeah,
I can ask
just
both
the
of them
wire
if
and
they
that
do.
sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean that's.
Huh.
And then we can see what John says about that.
Because the fence is not specialist, right? The fence is just resetting the posts.
Yeah.
That's not specialist
But
equipment.
the actual maintenance is different, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. And things like the carpet on the side, that's not a job that we can ask
No.
a handyman to do. But the fence feels
But
generic,
fence is fence, isn't it? Yeah.
and that's
Shall
the
we
biggest
just
cost.
say, keep up the fence but fix the
Do the other
four
side.
items?
Including the carpet.
Yeah.
And then we could look at
Well,
something
you
else.
don't have to do the glue gun. Oh.
You just want to do your glue gun.
I can always see if anyone comes back with a quick quote, give it a week, and if no one sort of comes up with any better idea, then it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
So nobody stress.
later than it. Remember we've got CCTV.
Get a bit of horse trading in.
That's a
I don't
strange.
know, it's just glue gunning this little piece back on.
I
so
think
that
it
you don't trip.
needs a different. I think the carpet needs to come off, and we need to have installed
A new
the
carpet.
version where you have the treads, the wooden treads
Yes.
lengths, So we've had
Maybe
installed
we could-
obviously a carpeted platform.
Maybe we could ask them to quote for a different ramp,
Yeah,
replace it with a
a
wooden
wooden
ramp
tread.
with slats
Mm.
instead of a carpet.
Because longer term,
Those do
that's
fine.
probably might be more cost effective.
Because that's what all the other zip lines have,
Yeah,
just a wooden little,
We've got a carpet.
yeah, wooden like tread. I don't know.
because it's river, you know, foot.
Yeah. But these are the things we need to think of, don't we, for longer term for cost saving.
Could you maybe
Sounds like a
ask
good
if
plan.
there would be quote for
Treads.
the run, the cable runway timber, to make it actually timber.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll see what else
I
they
mean,
can offer for
I don't know how well this wood underneath looks, maybe just,
Take it off.
we just take it off and put some slats on.
Or does it have to be
Ourselves.
carpet or rubber?
No, it doesn't, we just need something to,
Because if it's in
Grip.
rain,
it just needs something
Yeah,
so
those
they don't
wooden grip
slide down
bars.
when it's wet.
and
Which is
would
fine.
that be slidey?
I mean, that would be handy on there, just take the carpet off and put some buttons on it, rubber
I
nut.
mean, it's actually polystyrene underneath it, isn't it?
True.
It's getting
Yeah.
I think we need to do, but let's maybe a few options. Maybe we need to look at
But
Can
it
Safeway
doesn't
off-
need a quick fix.
offer us a
Yeah.
alternative ramp.
And a glue
I'm
gun.
off Saturday. I'm off Saturday, good to know.
Gosh.
Okay, so we're moving on to item 9, recreation ground. It's actually coming up to the end of the 5-year lease. In September, it's 5 years that the company been in the office. So yeah, so
And details of the lease, just generally.
I think I sent it round to
Yeah,
everybody.
it's on the
In the
attachment, the
emails.
last attachment on the.
Yeah, it's quite a lengthy document. I think they've got some items that they want to see changed. They want to see the heating changed to a more modern system, and they want the windows replaced.
Well, see, it was Frederick Hall that drew up the, shouldn't we ask them for their advice then?
Thank you.
I think so. I think we need to really know where we stand. The current lease includes utilities, so the payment that they pay to us includes use of heating, which is a big cost. One thing I need to do is to work out how much, which is not going to be ever so simple, but I mean I can come up with a ballpark figure.
What's the installation like over that then? That room?
I
Take
don't,
the window ones to the.
yeah, I don't think it's great to be honest. I
So
mean,
we need a lot of electricity, a lot of heaters and.
Yeah, apparently using quite a bit of, because they're using the old electric heaters on the wall and they're having them on running constantly.
Can we ever get solar panels fitted to that roof?
probably,
It's not bad.
you know, it's an option for the future.
Because, yeah, I don't know how it lies in regarding that you'll get the sun in the morning and in the afternoon, right? So you could have, if it's a pitch roof, you could have sun on the one side in the morning and sun on the other.
Yeah,
But I'm just thinking as it's a listed building,
it's not, no,
no,
but it's
Conservation,
a
isn't it?
conservation area, and they've, I think there've been past discussions about whether it's within the curtilage of listed buildings, because the old vicarage is listed, and obviously the mill. There's been discussions in the past about whether it's within the curtilage.
informally in the planning department, would it be possible or feasible for us to look into getting solar panels?
Yeah, okay. I suppose we can ask.
And the things that are, you know, it's not a firm commitment to getting them, but we're just in toying with the idea of perhaps to make the building more eco-friendly. You throw things like eco-friendly in nowadays, they don't like it, do they?
We've got to remember as well, we're still,
Maybe you've got to sell some of the juice up to the grid.
I mean, we're still in, of course, in discussions with Sporting and
I know,
BBC
yeah.
about the permission anyway, so I mean, it's,
But even Sport England shouldn't complain about that if they wanted to have, you know, new set of showers and everything like that. You're gonna
well, yeah, I don't
change
think,
his room, you could be.
I don't think they'd quite be worried about it.
So no, I don't think they would. As long as you got hot water for the showers, they'd be quite happy, wouldn't they?
So possibly then the best thing is that if we do seek advice on the best way forward, according to the final clause, I mean, they are entitled to an a 5-year extension. But equally, it also says they ought to have applied in writing for an extension between 6 months. No earlier than 6 months and no later than 3 months before the end of the existing lease.
Yeah.
So
Which
this
actually-
expires 30th of September.
So they ought to be
They've got another month, haven't they? So July, August. By the end of this month. Yeah, I think this is going to need more discussion, isn't it?
And we need a few figures as well about
Yeah.
electricity.
Electricity in
heating.
particular.
The bins are a thing now with the new regulations. I think we need to think about insurance. It's all this is an all-inclusive figure that they're paying. I just generally checked out a few prices for similar office spaces, and the price for the monthly rent is okay. It's basically what is roughly paid for. It's quite a small office space in Dover, but they usually exclude the expensive.
Yeah, they
Exactly.
wouldn't include your electricity, they wouldn't include
Yeah.
any insurance.
Well, this is like a
insurance.
blank one. Generally, I think it would be good for them to be somehow partly responsibility for those bills. Because whenever you do a flat rate, people abuse it slightly.
Mm.
And to be environmentally responsible as a parish council, I think that's not a good message we sent them to say, oh, just whatever you use, it's fine, we cover it. And wasn't there something about the noise, wasn't there something about the building works that,
Yes, they've requested for any building works in Flint House downstairs, the noisy parts, they're knocking down any of the walls, major constructions happen at the weekends to reduce disturbance on the office space, which would obviously
will be
incur additional cost.
Yeah, it will be difficult
Being
for
a
us.
weekend, and also for the use of the Flint House community room to have potentially restrictions during office hours for the activity that's carried out. So, for instance, maybe no loud music or certain exercise classes not to be conducted during office hours because they're worried about the disturbance upstairs.
Yeah, that's reasonable, I think.
I suppose that does, we have to, obviously the Sport England decision to remove their objection was based on the community use agreement that we submitted to them. So if there are restrictions on what could happen in the room, then that needs to be included in the community use agreements, and that would have to be put forward to
It's not good luck.
Sport England before they remove their
Yeah.
objection.
Yeah, so the more restrictions we add to that space, the more complicated it's going to be.
But I would have thought that the use as a meeting room would have primarily not clashed, because it would be a leaving time.
Depends what sort of activities going. I mean, what sort of meetings or training or education or whatever, or classes would go on there. I mean, if there was sort of exercise, that might well go on during the day.
But there again, I mean, we have say so on that, don't we? When we let it.
Yes, but all of the community use agreement does include sort of liaison with the partner in the agreement, who would be the KFA, over usage and how much it's being used, when it's being used, etc. I mean, Sporting are insisting that there is ongoing monitoring of what happens in the room. And if they're putting too many restrictions on it, then it's
Sure, I can see that.
Okay.
I mean, the other issue, I suppose, is that the entire contract is going to cost an awful lot of money to complete. Much different than it was when we started this whole process. You know, the costs have gone up enormously. There will need to be grant funding as part of the costs, and obviously the grants, whatever they are, would have conditions attached to them. So if we're not meeting the conditions of the grant, wherever that comes from, then there could be repercussions.
So it feels like we need some numbers, don't we? We need to understand the bigger picture would be, because also the contract, I was having a quick look, they don't have to contribute to the building's insurance that the landlord pays to insure the building entirely, rather than paying a proportion. So not only is it an inclusive rent of electricity and potentially waste, we're not looking to work that out, they're also not paying any contribution to building insurance. But our insurance would be complicated to calculate, I assume, because it's all under the one large policy.
Well, I suppose there's a separate amount for that building. I mean, I can just check what that amount is.
So do we agree then some more financials, and then maybe the next meeting we can show
Sure.
further discussions we can make a
Particularly the cost of electricity that they're running about.
I think that's the main thing, isn't it?
And you should imagine it's quite cold in the winter months, isn't it?
Yeah, so I understand their point with the windows being aged and the heating being probably insufficient for both things working together, but we need to understand the cost of replacing those items versus the income and the
So some quotes for replacement windows.
could also be quite useful.
If we get new windows that won't use much electricity.
Yeah.
No, double glazed, they're not double glazed at the moment.
No, the single glazed sash.
As it's in a conservation area, I'm not sure what sort of windows you could put in there.
Yeah.
Is there
Well,
any
certainly
restriction?
double glazed
Yeah.
windows.
A double sash, double glazed sash. Yeah.
Yeah.
But could it be a UPVC?
Tricky.
Mm. Also, aesthetically, the UPVC window, it feels like it sends the wrong message about
Yeah.
the area.
I mean, if they wanted to be a traditional sash window, that's a specialist kind of company dealing with that.
Yeah, that costs a lot of money.
But would we want to replace it anyway for us owning the building to replace the window?
Yeah, it's in a
Even
longer
if they're
term
not gonna be there.
improvement.
Yeah, then you can get something else in there and,
In the longer term, they have to be replaced. Um,
See how much it
Yeah, that's a good point.
costs.
I mean, at the moment, seeing as it's commercial rent, there would be absolutely no chance of grant funding for that. No one's going to grant funds for commercial rental. So the parish council would need to meet the cost of that.
Yeah. Is that 6 windows?
There's 5 across the front. I think it's the same in the back.
Yeah, 5. 10 then.
I think it's 10 in total.
They're quite big windows as well.
So at least
So they kind of pull around
£1,500 a window,
there.
surely.
They can pull up and down.
Yeah, it's probably about £20,000 worth of work.
Wow. Well, we can always get a quote and chat about it next time. And then I just think that we need all the numbers before I make a decision there.
Yeah, agreed.
There I've done some checked with planning and there will need to be a planning application submitted for the two storage containers. Will be it's fairly straightforward, so I'll get on with that. Right, so a couple of other items for the recreation ground. Where is it? Try and find it. What's the next one?
Well, who owns the hedges along the road, that low road, going next to the
Mill.
next to the rec,
Yeah.
The tennis courts are
the tennis courts bit, yeah.
It's ours up to the corner of the recreation ground,
Right.
but I think the bush sort of
And that's-
carries on,
That's
which is
happened.
downside sort
The
of.
tenant's responsibility, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's only because I noticed from the cider festival, walking along the road,
It takes up a lot of the pages. doesn't
yeah,
it?
you're like, ugh.
So Bowls, I've had an email from the Bowls Club saying that they're concerned about the retaining wall. We as a club are increasingly concerned that the retaining wall between the club and the car park is in urgent need of repair, specifically integrated with repointing and some removal of plants growing in the remaining mortar. So it's that one there at the back. There's a bit of a close up of it there. I mean, it does need repointing. I don't know if it's actually unsafe.
I would have thought that John Hill would have been first point
I'll check with property services and just see if they can confirm that.
They're not reporting that the wall is falling down, they're reporting it needs some maintenance.
Yeah. Right, next one, trees. I've had a call from an email from a member of the public, and also subsequently a call from Kent Highways, possibly following a complaint by a member of the public that the trees over the hanging over Lewisham Road are too low. They should have a clearance of 2.5 metres.
Yes.
So I have asked Charlie, our groundwork guy, to just check whether he does it for us. I think he has done it in the past, and whether he'd have a look at it and just get those cleared.
So it's too low over the pavement beside the road.
Yeah. And one other thing, actually, talking about trees, I did check, and our last full report on the tree inspection was in 2023. So we are due another report. So shall I ask our Rory Clopshire tree man to have a look at it. We have a kind of a localish guy who's reports for the reports aren't a lot of money then, but
Yeah, if it was, I think we should do that.
I think that's it for recreation ground. So that's in 10. I've been talking about this for a little while, but as part of the sort of ideas about getting message from the Parish Council out to more, I was suggesting that we start a monthly email by subscription, monthly newsletter with whatever information from the Parish Council could go out. I mean, that could include information about events and things happening that we, and obviously that would mean that people who have email aren't on social media and aren't on Facebook and X can get information. This won't have any cost to start with. One of the potential companies that deal with these, they have a free tier going up to 200 subscribers. So up until we got to 200, it wouldn't cost the Parish Council any money. But obviously, leading on from then, there would be a cost involved. They are GDPR compliant, so we have assurances that the names are kept securely and subscriptions, etc. It's a very simple processing. It's an online thing. You just drag and drop to create the email, and then it sends it off. Obviously, it would take a while to get going, but the reason for bringing it up now is so that it could be promoted at the fete. Hopefully, we could get some people signing up at the fete to receive it. So, if people think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
It's good to try something new.
Yeah.
So this will be in addition to like our Facebook page and.
Yeah, so I mean anything that goes on the Facebook page.
Because now everybody is on Facebook.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that don't.
Yeah, they have an email address, but they don't use social media.
And it is tricky with social media as well. I did an online course on it recently, and they were pointing out that people are in the habit of checking their social media at a certain time, and if you don't hit when people check, you don't necessarily show up on their feed.
Yeah.
And he actually said, don't be afraid of posting things more than once, 2 or 3 times, because for different times
You
of
can
day.
time it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it gets to, at the moment all done manually. I don't have any software for scheduling posts, so I have to do them myself. So.
Oh, it turns that up, doesn't it? Post it as a Zoom post, yeah. Facebook we can, or Instagram I'm not sure. But on Facebook we
Instagram
can.
you can schedule.
Because I used to do Facebook scheduling.
I mean, there are.
Just I think generally Facebook is very tricky lately with the algorithm that people have. If you don't have, if you're not on people's algorithm, they won't see your stuff till 3 days or 4 days later because it just doesn't show up. And then I see it with my feed sometimes. I'm saying, oh, this happened 3 days ago. I missed it. It would have liked to go, but I didn't get this till on the day. It's a very tricky one, I find.
Yeah, so the
That's
option
why
of-
the newsletter, I find it's a better idea if people want to just generally are interested.
So at the Summer Fete, Andrew, are you suggesting that we have a, how would we collate, you wanted to collate email addresses at the Fete?
I think it
So
would.
then load them ready for when the newsletter launches, or?
I think it's you can. It would be a case of having a QR code or whatever saying scan this to
sign up.
sign up.
So you can't put a list out anymore.
No.
So we don't have to necessarily have the newsletter ready by then, but we could have start collating saying it's coming.
Yeah.
To make sure we're happy with the newsletter before the first one goes out, we can start collecting.
All new.
And the service provider does have a way of signing up. I think again it's something we can put on the website where you just have to click to go through and put.
Yeah.
And they manage all the email addresses and they're kept securely. So. Okay. So
That's it, yes. Everyone happy with that?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so before I hand over to chair of the events, just we were talking about using a coloured logo rather than the original, the black and white one that we've. Yeah, this is actually following on from the colours that are on the chairman's badge, so it's not a new design, and it's just putting those back. So suggestion being that it's a bit more engaging than just
Opposite.
plain
Yeah, the black and white.
Black and white.
Yeah.
So trying to get the Parish Council stalls seen a bit better because there seems to be still a bit confusion where we are, even though we're the first stall on the Fete. Bang your
Could
back
the swan be
there.
white? Would it stand out a bit more?
Well, it's gold,
It's
isn't
because
it?
we followed
Oh,
the
I suppose, yeah.
badge.
It could be.
Yeah.
It could be more. I mean, we're not instantly in need of publishing it anyway. So I mean, I could do a different version with a white and play around with it. But
It's a white one.
stand up.
Rainbows.
It's still a bright version of it on a little wheel.
A black swan.
Black swan.
Yeah, okay.
I just think immediately this was more engaging, especially when
Yes.
looking at printed material, black and white just feels very 1980s. We're having an engaging store where we want communities to come and talk to us about things that are going on, sign up to newsletter, talk to councillors.
General
It needs to
reason
feel a
why
bit
it's black and
more
white is, it used to be in
cost
the
of
80s
print.
that it was cost of print, but that's not given anymore because we're basically working print free with the social media, with the
Yes.
newsletter. We don't need to worry about print cost about this one. We could just do it something nice. And we were talking about the banner at the Fete as well, to purchase a few items there to make our Parish Council store be a bit more approachable and look a bit more
It's a bit like Mum's one she has for chit chat, like the flag
perky
type.
things, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll call them bunny ears. Call them
Yeah.
whatever you want.
So yeah, I can do a version with the white swan. See what that looks like. Might stand out.
try.
Good.
Any other thoughts on that?
Yeah.
Just maybe try a white swan, but it's good progress. It's good.
Something else on the bench.
Yeah, and one little thing, because we have talked about this in the meeting, is that the lady who's running that little vintage fairground, what's it called, that little marsh entertainment, has given me a few dates to play about with, because we didn't want to upset the football people straight away. They wanted to come on the May bank holiday weekend, and yes, the weather was perfect for it, really, but I was not really ready to say yes, because I just about met this Rangers lady and got to know her, and I didn't want to upset her straight away and ruin the grass, and she's really a bit worried about it. But since then I had a few dates from them, and there was one about this, which is the first weekend when the summer holidays are starting. They would come a little bit earlier and then stay, I think, 3-4 days in the rec. In the area where we have the smaller playground, or by the ping pong table. So I've talked to Rangers about it, and as long as they not affect the pitches, even though they only have a couple of games left on the right pitches, on the big ones, but not on the little kickabout area, they're fine with it. They just were a bit worried about hearing fairground, they were a bit worried. So if that's okay with people, I keep liaising with them too, with Rangers and the fairground, that we have a mini fairground. They were doing an affordable wristband for the children to use for a few hours. So you can buy a wristband and you can do as many goes as you want for an hour or two, to make it a bit affordable. I think that would be well received. Trying to liaise that on the same, I'm just trying to find out when our year 6 leavers thing is, which is usually on I think it's usually on the Thursday. So my money is on the 16th for that one. They're doing their little assembly, and then they're usually going either on a little ride with the double-decker bus, and then they have a picnic in the rec. So if the fairground would be already there, that would be terrific, because then we'd have really a nice little goodbye from their village school and their village before they're going off to big school. So I'm just trying to find out the dates for that one at the moment, with people out on the ground at primary. But I'll put it in the chat tonight, and we generally thought that it was a good idea to have them.
Do you think we can get them more than once in the year as well?
They would like to come, and almost like on a, she didn't say like the fish and chips van, but she said they would be great. We were toying a little bit with that idea to put them in a tennis court, didn't we?
Yeah, on a regular basis.
As a little,
That would be
I mean, they could almost leave their stuff then there and shut it, and then come back on a weekend. And
It
see
still
how-
can be washed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
But I would say I just show her it when she's here at the Faye, and then she can have a look at it.
Yeah, she
But
can decide
generally,
that.
she was very keen on having like a permanent little space somewhere.
Sounds good.
That's all I have from events. Otherwise, it's ticking nicely over. I made good progress with the food vendors, and the bookings coming in nicely. Just about the thing about I need to advertise this little mini food fair / the food clinic. I was thinking maybe we extend that to anybody really,
Yeah,
and just fill that space between the
flea market area.
where the small, if we do it where the small space by the permanent gate, where the permanent football gates goes,
Yeah.
because that's always a bit of a dead zone. The people don't want to go there really, because it's not. But if we have 20 flea market stalls there, or 30, on blankets and the tables, the fairground on one side and a few vintage cars,
Yeah.
then we have all the space used. It's an experiment, and I might just charge $5 for it for the blanket or something like that. We got a bit. I I'll add that soon to the email list. Put it online.
Okay. So general correspondence. So A is the community governance review stage 2. This did come up a couple of months ago. This is distinct from the local government LGR, local government reorganisation. This is basically looking at parish councils and number of councillors and also council boundaries. I think could also be looked at as well. So there was one person who consulted from River, an elector, who suggested the question being asked: should the number of councillors on the above town parish council be changed? And the answer was yes. And said perhaps 8 councillors would be sufficient to represent the people of River Parish. So somebody thought, for whatever reason, should only be 8. Don't know why, we don't know who, but they thought that would be the case. At the moment, only one response received. But this is below the number of councillors recommended by NALC, which actually, according to the recommended numbers, this number of seats would increase from 10 to 11.
Wow.
No contested parish council elections since 1991, so an increase of seats as suggested would seem unnecessary at this time. And the number of councillors suggested in the response takes it further away from NALC guidelines. No response from River Parish Council, so their views can be taken into consideration, although they will have the opportunity to comment on the draft recommendations at stage 2. So the recommendation from DDC is that the councillors' numbers remain unchanged at this time. So, do we wish to comment on that? Say they remain unchanged?
Because we stand at 7 at the moment, don't we?
8. Yeah. Mike and Raz.
Oh, that's right. Sorry.
Yeah.
And Natalie. Yeah.
Two vacancies.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we.
It's been like that for
I think we've been 8 quite a while and 7. I just don't see the reason why, except that somebody wants to push for an election.
I do know we don't get paid.
Do we comment that happy with the numbers as they are?
I think we do.
Yeah.
Well, not 8.
Yeah, I don't think we want to go.
reduce it to
Well,
8.
nice to get some young blood in and have a couple more.
I don't think we want to reduce to 8. I think 10 is.
Well, we are 8 anyway.
We are.
Yeah, but if we have 8, then we can't bring anyone else then.
I know, but
Yeah, we are.
discussion is a
Yes.
bit stupid because
Yes.
he wants to reduce us to 8 and we
Yeah.
are 8.
But we've been 8 for a
Um,
while. Yes.
Could change.
And it's just, if a 9th person won't come, this person seems to push for an election. That's what I have a feeling for.
Yeah.
Which
And it would cost money.
No,
Yeah, that's
election.
happy.
Give you pins.
10
Okay, I shall respond to that.
Oh, it's weird.
So,
I want to know who done that.
next thing is
Community governance.
following on from the Road Safety and Active Travel Group seminar, which Councillor Jack wasn't able to go to. They are now hosting a virtual seminar covering the same content presentations for those that were unable to attend. Seminar designed to bring together parish and town councils, county members, Kent Association of Local Councils, Kent Police, community engagement, highway improvement plan representatives and the wider Road Safety and Active Travel Group.
Are there any dates for it?
So we have Thursday 9th of July, which will be on Microsoft Teams, 9 5:30. Start promptly at 9:30 a.m. in the morning. All clerks and parish councillors welcome. So, I can send that round.
Yeah, I couldn't make it up, didn't I?
So the topics including safety cameras, work of the Kent Medway Safety Camera Partnership, Speed Watch, what speed and collision data we hold and how we use it, work of the highway improvements team, how we support schools in the area through school travel plans, school streets, other initiatives such as bikeability and walk once a week, road safety campaigns and education, and active travel schemes overview, initiatives and funding available. So I can send that round to everyone.
What day was that again?
That was, Thursday, 9th of July at 9:30. Probably go on for several hours. Have a little puppet sitting looking at the screen. You can go off and make up the tea. So C is the Kent Downs management. Order now. There's a consultation on the new Kent Downs management plan. Obviously that has an effect on the river because the river's surrounded by the Kent Downs area goes out that way. So I think this is for anyone to comment on this. Residents being invited to have their say on the future of Kent Downs national landscape. The public consultation opens on a draft 5-year management plan. Covering almost a quarter of Kent and stretching from the White Cliffs to the Surrey border, Kent Downs is one of South East's most visited and valued landscapes. Residents, businesses, farmers and community groups being encouraged to take part in the consultation and help shape its future. So I will publicise that through our means and anyone who
How
wishes
does
to
that
take part
clash
in it.
with the all the building programs going on, house building programs going around the place?
Yeah. There we are.
Doesn't really fit in, does it?
Yeah. Dover in Bloom. This is actually a bit. This is beyond the date when they asked for reactions. I think the 1st of June. It's basically it's Future Foundry, who are the organisation who run the Winterlands and procession, amongst other things. Dover at Night, they did recently as well, who are organising it, and it's basically a portfolio that they submit for judgment. It's not like there are judges wandering around the town looking for window baskets or something. It's these Bloom partners, which you can just about see there, who have an input into it, and everything's put together in a portfolio and that's sent off and that's what it's judged on. So apparently I think we won something last year. Dover Bloom won something. We in terms of Dover. As I say, we're too late to actually formally enter our classes or anything.
Yeah, because we said we were not quite sure about it.
I remember this came up from that previously.
But it says River Gardeners
So
on 40 something, I can't
Yeah.
really work this out. Second to last.
Yeah, River
River
Gardens.
Gardens Association.
God, they haven't going to do that kind of stuff.
So they may have submitted our classes as part of their.
Yeah. Alright.
So yeah, that's for information. Last thing, Calc sent me their latest training courses that they're running. There's nothing for our the next one for counsellors, unfortunately, is in October.
Wow.
So they're actually But I will circulate this.
You mean the new councillors or general councillors?
This is our any councillors who haven't done the course. That
Have you done it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
nuts and bolts of parish council. They're calling it now. I think it's the same thing.
You done yours?
Yeah.
Is it like an idiot's guide of
Yeah.
what to do?
How do you council?
Like
So you get a book as
the
well.
Haynes Manual of Parish Council.
Somewhere with a book.
So I think that's it for correspondence. One item of extra information that I've got is that River Gardeners have informed me that they have replanted the planters summer flowering plants. That's been done. So next time you go past one.
Should we? Okay.
So
They
that's.
usually post that themselves, don't they? As a law. Or should we input something?
We
Is there
can
anything
put
wrong?
something as well. So yes.
Oh, I have a little people around Saturday.
Okay. Anything there? Items of information, Thursday?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing else from me. So anything else from you?
That concludes our meeting then.
Yes.
Wow, 9:10 tonight.
Well done.
Yeah, thank you
That was a
everyone.
long one, actually.
That was a long
Yeah,
one,
it
yeah,
was.
there was
It's
a
not
lot.
hungry.
There was a lot, thank
Has
you.
the rugby club doing anything at the fete?
No.
I was thinking about
This is why there's nothing